Local Service Tax, LST. Assessment and Payment, February 2017. Governing Law. Local Service Tax is governed by the Local Government Amendment, No. 2 Act 2008-, an act to amend the Local Governments Act to provide for additional taxes to be levied, collected and charged by local governments in order to provide new sources of revenue for local governments and for related purposes. Reference can also be made to Practical Guide for Implementation of Local Hotel and Local Service Tax developed by Local Government Finance Commission. What is local service tax? This is a tax levied on salaries, wages and incomes of all persons in gainful employment, and its purpose is to raise additional revenue service delivery in the capital city. Why should you pay? It's a legal requirement for any person in gainful employment/business to pay local service tax as provided for by the Act CAP 243. The proceeds are to enable and finance provision of services such as maintenance of roads and drainage channels, provision of primary health care, provision and maintenance of traffic lights among others, to promote economic development in the capital city. Who is eligible to pay? Categories of persons eligible to pay LST. Categories of persons eligible to pay local service tax include the following. A. Person in gainful employment, with salaries and wages. B. Self-employed and practicing professionals, medical and veterinary doctors, engineers, accountants, consultants, technicians, lawyers, dentists, pharmacists, architects, scientists, surveyors, valuers, ICT specialists and any other self-employed professionals not mentioned. C. Self-employed artisans, craftsmen, plumbers, builders, electricians, masons, carpenters, mechanics, blacksmiths, painters, welders, bakers, furniture makers, florists, skilled artisans and any other artisans not mentioned excluding sole petty artisans and duopolies, who are not fully established and not business entities. E. Commercial farmers. Who is exempted from paying local service tax? Salaries of the following are exempted from the payment of local service tax. A. Members of the Uganda People's Defense Force. B. Members of the Uganda Police Force. C. Members of the Uganda Prison Service. D. Members of the Local Defense Forces, sometimes referred to as LDUs, and E. Members of the diplomatic missions accredited to Uganda. The following persons are also exempt from the payment of local service tax. A. Unemployed persons and peasants. B. A person engaged in subsistence or occasional economic activities. C. Petty food vendors. D. Boda boda, cyclists. E. Sole petty artisans and duopolies, who are not fully established and are not business entities, and F. People living in poverty who are unable to earn a minimum income to access basic necessities of life. NB. For the purpose of this regulation, peasants include people who produce for their own subsistence and have nothing or very little to sell to the market.
Past horrors of graduated tax. How is local service tax computed? Computation and rates of local service tax in respect of persons in gainful employment and earning a monthly take-home salary. 1. The local service tax on persons in gainful employment and earning a monthly take-home salary shall be levied as follows. See Table 1. Table 1. Amount of monthly income earned, in SHS. Rate of local service tax, in SHS, per year. 1. Exceeding 100,000 equals but not exceeding 200,000 equals 5,000. 2. Exceeding 200,000 equals but not exceeding 300,000 equals 10,000. 3. Exceeding 300,000 equals but not exceeding 400,000 equals 20,000. 4. Exceeding 400,000 equals but not exceeding 500,000 equals 30,000. 5. Exceeding 500,000 equals but not exceeding 600,000 equals 40,000. 6. Exceeding 600,000 equals but not exceeding 700,000 equals 60,000. 7. Exceeding 700,000 equals but not exceeding 800,000 equals 70,000. 8. Exceeding 800,000 equals but not exceeding 900,000 equals 80,000. 9. Exceeding 900,000 equals but not exceeding 1 million equals 90,000. 10. Exceeding 1 million equals 100,000. 2. In this regulation, take-home salary means gross. 3. For the avoidance of doubt, all the professionals, technicians, consultants and artisans who are in gainful employment and earn a monthly salary shall pay local service tax according to their monthly salary based on prototype computation as elaborated below. Assume that a worker earns 420,000 Ugandan shillings per month. The LST computation according to the local Government Amendment Act would require that the income earner be subjected to payment of pay first. However, in matters of tax administration, the Income Tax Act supersedes the Local Government Act. This means that LST is a deduction from the gross monthly income of taxpayer as tabulated in the example below. Table 2. A. B. C. Monthly salary. LST payable. Available income for national taxation, pay. 420,000. 30,000. 390,000. Computation of local service tax for professionals. The computation of LST for professional is based on two bands. The professional who gets monthly income of 1,000 Ugandan shillings, 000 and above pays 100,000 as annual LST, and those earning in between 500,000 Ugandan shillings but not exceeding 1 million Ugandan shillings pay 50,000 Ugandan shillings annually as tax. The professionals referred to are medical and veterinary doctors, engineers, accountants, consultants, technicians, lawyers, dentists, pharmacists, architects, scientists, surveyors, valuers, ICT specialists and any other self-employed professionals not mentioned. Table 3. Professionals. Monthly income earned. Annual LST payable. Doctors, pharmacists, veterinary doctors, engineers, accountants, auditors, consultants, lawyers, architects, artists, journalists, writers, surveyors, planners, scientists. 1 million onwards. 100,000 photographers, counselors, dramatists, actors, sportspersons, programmers and any other professional not mentioned. Exceeding 500,000 but not exceeding 900,000. 50,000. Computation of local service tax for artisans. The computation of LST for artisans is based on three bands. The artisans who gets monthly income of UGX 100,000 and not exceeding 200,000 pays 5,000 Ugandan shillings as annual LST and those earning in between UGX. 200,000 but not exceeding 300,000 Ugandan shillings pay 10,000 Ugandan shillings annually as tax and those earning above UGX. 300,000 pay 20,000 Ugandan shillings annually as tax. The artisans referred to are craftsmen, plumbers, builders, electricians, masons, carpenters, mechanics, blacksmith, painters, welders, bakers, furniture makers, florist, tailors, radio and TV repairers, hairdressers, semi-skilled artisans and any other artisans not mentioned. Table 4. Artisans. Monthly income earned. Annual LST payable. Craftspersons, plumbers, builders, electricians, mechanics, blacksmith. Exceeding 100,000 Ugandan shillings but not exceeding 200,000 Ugandan shillings. 5,000 painters, welders, bakers, furniture makers, florists, tailors, radio and TV repairers. Exceeding 200,000 Ugandan shillings but not exceeding 300,000 Ugandan shillings. 10,000 hairdressers, semi-skilled artisans and any other not mentioned. Exceeding 300,000 Ugandan shillings on wards. 20,000. Computation of local service tax for businessmen, women. The computation of local service tax for business proprietors is in respect of persons or entities who include but may not be limited to the following: owners of shops, fuel stations, restaurants, bars, furniture workshops, printer workshops. Directors and shareholders of business companies, food vendors. Commission agents, insurance brokers, butchers, real estate service providers. Road construction firms, outside catering service providers, coffee millers, maize millers, fishmongers, timber merchants, garage owners and shoemakers and any other businessmen and women not mentioned, is based on the turnover of the businesses and categorized in 10 bands as shown in the Table 5. Table 5 Business Monthly Turnover, in SHS. Rate of local service tax, in SHS, per year. 500,000 but not exceeding 1 million, equals. 5,000, equals. Exceeding 1 million, equals but not exceeding 2 million, equals. 10,000, equals. Exceeding 2 million, equals but not exceeding 3 million, equals. 20,000, equals. Exceeding 3 million, equals but not exceeding 4 million, equals. 30,000, equals. Exceeding 4 million, equals but not exceeding 5 million, equals. 40,000, equals. Exceeding 5 million, equals but not exceeding 6 million, equals. 50,000, equals. Exceeding 6 million, equals but not exceeding 7 million, equals. 60,000, equals. Exceeding 7 million, equals but not exceeding 8 million, equals. 70,000, equals. Exceeding 8 million, equals but not exceeding 9 million, equals. 80,000, equals. Exceeding 9 million, equals but not exceeding 10 million, equals. 90,000, equals. Exceeding 10 million, equals. 100,000, equals. How is local service tax paid? Employees earning a salary or wage under this category. The employer will submit a salary schedule with the respective local service tax computation therein to KCCA for assessment. Employers may deduct in 4 equal installments the LST payable by an employee. Professionals, artisans, businessmen, women assessment is done alongside trading license or by separate assessment by authorized KCCA officials. Payment can be made by way of electronic funds transfer, EFT, through a bank of one's choice on obtaining a payment advice form, PAF, from the Authority Division or one of the established one-stop shops and through any of the affiliated mobile telecom pay platforms. air telephone, mountain, pay way, ESI money among others. When is the effective date for payment of local service tax? In the first 4 months of every financial year for employees earning a salary or wage. Once in a financial year for professionals, artisans within the first 4 months. Once every 12 months for businessmen, women before being issued, together with a trading license. For more inquiries on trade licensing, please visit any Division Urban Council Office's Revenue, Large Tax Office at City Hall or any of the one-stop shops at Diamond Trust Bank Kampala Road, URSB Head Office at Georgina House or telephone 020460000, 080099000 or e-services at kcca.go.ug. Further justification of KCCA's arguments on retention of a number of revenue charges, taxes particularly local service tax, LST, and local government hotel tax, LHT, lies in the following facts. Explanation in the introduction of the LGs Act, Amendment, 2005, where it was expressly stated that LST and LHT were being introduced to bridge the gap created when graduated tax, GT, payments had been abolished. The unwritten but the most commonly known fact that the new taxes, LST and LHT, are fair, progressive,